It's Christmas Eve 2023. We're doing a staycation. It's cold but sunny in the northeast, and in the morning we wake up and take my son to a new playground. At this playground it's so fun. It's got rubber flooring. My son is rock climbing. There are tons of kids running around with their families, bucolic idyllic. Part 1. My dad calls me he can't get the uppercase to work, and this is significant because he's trying to switch from the pinging Chinese keyboard to the English keyboard. And obviously, in Chinese there's no uppercase. But in English and the land of passwords, it's really important to switch between upper and lower case. He's really upset, and the moment you left it wasn't working, and now I can't even do the simplest thing like log in. I'm like, Dad, I don't know, I think you have to hit the tab because I set it up to switch between keyboards with tab. Okay, after the playground I'll come over. He lives close to me, this is driving him crazy. So I go over, and the moral of this story is self-inflicted wounds. Now I have to talk him down because he's like, I would never use shift to type in input. 3 letters in a row that are all caps, like I have to use caps lock. Like, how could you do this to me? It's just insulting and abhorrent. I'm like, fine, okay, we'll just uncheck that option. I'm really sorry. We go on about how, ChatGPT is not enabled for these other keyboards in these other languages. And no, I don't know how to get that ticket prioritized by their product managers, though I do on second thought, so that he can use AI, but for now he's back to normal, not freaking out anymore, and I go home. Part 2. I go home and my husband is freaking out. My father-in-law was playing with my son and tiny little Legos from Temu, the Chinese Amazon. They're very tight, so they don't come apart very easily, and my son wanted to rebuild the fire truck into an airplane, so my father-in-law had been standing by the sink. I don't know why he was there, prying these red Lego pieces apart, but he's using a lot of force, and pop, it comes off and lands straight into the garbage disposable in a perfect projectile arc. At the same time upstairs, my husband is taking a shower, and he drops the bar of soap down the shower drain, which just fits perfectly. So there's no way to pry it, and it's just lodged there. So when I come home, everyone is just losing it in the house. My husband has to prioritise. Right. So he fixed the garbage disposal first because the blade of our garbage disposal broke in the past and we don't want foreign objects in our pipes. So my husband has to take the entire pipe off at the bottom of the sink, and this is not what he wants to be doing on Christmas Eve. FYI, to get soap out of a drain, pour boiling water. Part 3. Finally, I can go for a walk before hosting Christmas Eve and dinner. Walking is part of my meditation practice, and the sound of the fountain in the lake really calms me. I walk around and it's dusk and I see this beautiful sunset peeking through 2 of the houses that are waterfront. And it's this an auburn glowing fireball Cezanne would paint with yellow, pink, blue and purple streaks. I slow down and I take out my phone and I put my water bottle down next to me and I'm almost blinded, wondering how the iPhone camera is going to handle so much light in its aperture. When my bottle cap rolls out of my pocket and gurgles into the lake, I realise in my mind's eye that there is no way I can see where the cap went, nor dive in to find it. Talk about self-inflicted wounds. I promise that other people think I am the calmest leader in a storm. I glug down all the water. At least this is not the beginning of a run. But I must point out that Cezanne died of self-inflicted pneumonia trying to paint a rainy, mossy landscape. He is famous for the dry haystacks that got me to stop and drop my bottle cap. But he dies for a scene that he is not even famous for. Are you kidding me? The moral of these 3 self-inflicted stories is that weird things happen, but do not deny us having a laugh with you. And as a founder in AI, you wonder why others are gaining market share and category position, even though it's because there is no barrier to entry and sticky monetization. I digress. So my advice is that oftentimes weird things happen, and I hope that you don't go down a rabbit hole of taking it personally. I invite you to tell the story to someone else and make them laugh. Tell family, friends, strangers how ridiculous it is to simultaneously have one. Caps lock block your dad. 2. A Lego piece and a bar of soap, and then 3. A bottle cap, fly into a body of water, or tell these stories that no one can make up, to me on my podcast. But I just have one ask. Whatever you're doing in AI or as a founder, please do not take your risks next to a lake, shower drain, or a sink with a garbage disposal. That's all I ask. Happy New Year 2024.